Hey, do you like John Wick? Of course you do, who doesn't? A retired badass, reluctantly thrown back into the life after the death of a loved one, going on to solve all his problems by beating, shooting, stabbing and generally severely maiming the hell out of any poor unprepared soul who gets in his way. But how about instead of facing off against the likes of the Russian mob, the mafia or an international secret society of professional assassins, we had the main villains be online scam artists. Enter the Beekeeper, the latest action blockbuster featuring everyone's favourite wannabe Olympic diver, Jason Statham. True fact, look it up. Now I'm going to do this video slightly different to all my other ones, like before I get into the funny haha walkthrough jokey stuff, I'm going to do a mini review for a minute or two. I'd say stick with me, but if you really want to skip it then I'll throw a timestamp up here. You still here? Okay, cool. So, I don't know who this movie was made for. Like, it's rated R, 18, wherever, basically no kids allowed. And to be fair, I don't think anyone over like 40 really cares about Jason Statham films, right? Like, nothing personal to him, I love his films, I was practically raised on the transporter since Channel 4 showed it every f***ing week, but he's that sort of older generation of movie star now. Like, that's pretty much the whole point of The Expendables. So why does this movie feel like it's the boomers' idea of what the kids these days think is cool? Like, I swear there's so many scenes where they could have easily had a shot of someone playing Fortnite and I wouldn't have even questioned it. But I don't know what this film's trying to be either. Like, I actually saw this in the cinema. I was expecting it to be a run-of-the-mill Statham movie. He kills all the bad guys, looks all tough, maybe has a couple sick one-liners and roll credits. And it does still do all that, don't worry, but it's also really goofy, and I'm fairly sure that's deliberate. So the film was directed by David Ayer, aka the guy who directed Suicide Squad, and yes, some other things I guess, but mainly Suicide Squad, and written by Kurt Wimmer, a man I've never heard of, but who's apparently written a fair few films, most of which are average at best and critically panned at worst. I don't think I've ever watched any of his other stuff, but based on this one, I feel comfortable enough saying, my god, this man does not know how to write dialogue. Like, this film has some of the most wooden dialogue I've ever seen, which the actors try, and fail, to deliver like it's something an actual human would say. But even after that, hell, probably in part due to that, I do like this film. Wikipedia says it's an action thriller. It's not a thriller. It feels more like a parody of a thriller. It has the gritty action movie storyline down, but it doesn't feel like it takes itself seriously at all. And honestly, for me, that makes it way more rewatchable than the ones that play it totally straight. Okay, so starting off, we've got the villains, and they are the most over-the-top, obnoxious, millennial, Gen Z, whatever assholes you've ever seen. If they were capable of growing mustaches, then they would be twirling them beyond belief. Then there's the plot itself. Again, it takes the John Wick path of escalating from a simple revenge mission up to fully dismantling a whole organisation. But then it keeps escalating. The grand finale ends up with him trying to... Actually, no spoilers, I'll let you see for yourself when we get there. And finally we got the cops, your standard pair of agents pursuing the main character and trying to end his killing spree. But even they don't play it straight. Instead they're like something out of a buddy cop movie. She's the smart, serious, high-achieving but still generally fun and light-hearted one, and he's a sarcastic, inept family man who just wants to go home. If this was any other Statham film, it would feel totally out of place, but here it works. Okay, I've kind of got off track with the review part, haven't I? 5 out of 10 would recommend. Hey, if you go from the timestamp, then first of all, rude, my opinions deserve to be heard, go back and watch the rest, here's the timestamp you just left from, and second of all, I think we are just about ready to watch the movie. So let's watch the movie. Well, that's new. Okay, pre-standard title sequence, I kinda dig it. Also, obligatory Star Kid reference.
Honey Queen, you are the one who sets the scene.
It feels like they just paid for a whole bunch of bee-related stock media to really hammer home the fact that bees are going to play an integral part in this entire story. Spoiler alert, most of this movie has f*** all to do with bees, but they've chosen it as their USP, so you just know they got a shoehorn bee stuff in the least subtle ways possible. You'll see what I mean as we go on. That wooden dialogue I mentioned? Yeah, it's mostly going to be bee references. And yes, I'm going to be showing every single one of them just so you get the full scale of what I mean. Also, what is this music? Combined with the visuals, it feels like we're going to be watching some suspenseful psychological thriller about a serial killer who themes his murders around bees. It's like whoever made the titles didn't get the memo about how goofy the rest of the film is. Introducing the Beekeeper, aka Adam Clay. And as you can see, he is quite literally a beekeeper, no metaphors here.
Yet.
And he's currently running his own little bee farm on the massive Massachusetts farmstead of this retired school teacher come charity worker Eloise.
I wouldn't go in there for a day or two.
So Adam and Eloise have developed a pretty close bond together as two lonely older people who only have each other for company.
I just wanted to thank you for putting up with me. know about bees. No one's ever taken care of me before.
You can probably see where this is going. No, not in the sex way. In the John Wick way.
Come back at supper time, let me feed you.
No.
So Adam goes off to do some more beekeeping and Eloise starts, I guess, plugging all of her daily transactions into a spreadsheet instead of just using online banking. Yep, Eloise is that type of elderly stereotype, completely out of touch with technology. Her daughter bought her this laptop and she doesn't have a clue what she's doing with it. That's why when literally 3 seconds later she gets the most blatant scam pop-up ever, she wastes no time in phoning those bad boys up.
Hello, I just got a message saying that there's a problem with my computer.
Though to be fair, if she was getting these pop-ups while just using Excel, then that laptop was already fucked. What sort of sites has she been going on?
Nothing hurts more than humiliation and a little money loss.
Okay, I'm there.
Now, what do you typically picture when you think of a scam call centre? For me, it's like a dingy office space, pretty large room, but bland and depressing as hell. Packed tight with assholes just hoping they find someone vulnerable to prey on. You know what? Now I think about it, that's just a regular call centre. Anyway, this is the scam call centre in this film.
Boss, got something? Yeah? Get this fucking hippie shit down, please.
What is this, an esports arena?
United Data Group, good afternoon. This is Boyd. How may I help you?
Now for most of you this is going to be super obvious, but I'm kind of face blind, so run with me here. This is not Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson is in this movie, I know he is, I saw him in the titles. This is not Josh Hutcherson. Honestly, this guy is like the love child of Josh Hutcherson and Matt Pat. He was actually in EastEnders, believe it or not. Weirdly high number of British actors in this. At least 2 from EastEnders. Whatever, I'm rambling. Basically, this is not Josh Hutcherson. But until the credits rolled, I was not 100% sure of this fact, which made it especially weird when the real Josh Hutcherson showed up. Anyway, that's enough of my dumb brain, for now, so back to the film. Anyway, scam stuff, yada yada, Eloise quickly gives Not Josh access to all her accounts, her pension, even the multi-million-dollar charity fund she helps run.
She is a signatory on a $2 million account.
And he drains them all like that.
Boom! Fucking yes! That is what I am talking about! Come on! Let me fucking hear you!
Good to know banks have no safeguards against anything like that. Oh wait, never mind, it's fine. They let that $2 million transfer go through, but at least they texted to say it was probably a scam. See, the banks are our friends after all.
What did I do?
So Eloise obviously does the usual stuff. Contact the bank, contact the police, hell, even contact Adam to set him off on his revenge mission. Oh wait, no she doesn't. She immediately shoots herself in the head. While this was all going on, we also got to see some sick beekeeping action with Adam, like tending the bees, taking the honeycomb, and making a jar of honey from said honeycomb. See, they don't call this guy the beekeeper for nothing. So he arrives at Eloise's for dinner at like midnight, immediately realises something's up, so heads in, takes a knife, finds a body, and is immediately apprehended by her FBI agent daughter Verona.
Verona. I'm so sorry.
Well, how do you know my...
Why is she just randomly showing up at her mum's house in the middle of the night? No idea, it's never explained. You'd think her mum must have called her all worried and she could tell something was up. Maybe she explained the whole scam situation and she'd come to help. Nope, they don't find out about the scam stuff till after this, and she thought her mum was as happy as can be.
Suicide. You can't be serious. That woman loved life more than anybody I know. But by all means, let's just completely ignore the big white dude in her house with a knife.
But she's here now for some reason. Anyway, now Adam's the sole suspect in this obvious suicide. But to be fair, I guess he could have stood there menacingly and made her shoot herself. I've seen that in stuff before, you know, you do it quick or I'll do it slow.
Wow.
So the cops question Adam about what he was doing in the house. He tells them about his bees.
I was bringing her a jar of honey.
Who the fuck are you, Winnie the Pooh?
I keep bees.
They arrest him. Verona's sad for a second and does some investigating.
Oh my god.
Then they immediately bring Adam back again because they've already fully exonerated him, I guess.
His hands tested negative for gunshot residue, but the prints on the gun were your mother's. Seems, sadly, it was suicide.
So, like, forget all the other stuff I said.
Could I interest you in something a bit stronger?
No. No, thank you.
So now he definitely didn't murder her mum, Verona's pretty pally with him and they have a sort of bonding session, so of course Adam has to throw in a sick bee reference.
At a certain age, you cease to exist. Cease to matter. You used to be a part of life, part of the family.
Part of the hive, I guess you could say.
Do you remember? He's the beekeeper. Anyway, after she's done comparing him to her dead brother,
He'd mow the lawn and you think he invented fire.
she tells him about the scam and he replies with some of the trademark wooden dialogue I mentioned earlier.
Taking from an elderly person is as bad as stealing from a child. Maybe worse. Someone hurts a child. There are parents, people who care, ready to step in. Someone hurts an older person. Sometimes they're left to face the hornets alone. Because either it goes unnoticed, or no one cares.
Do you see what I mean about not knowing who this movie's made for? Like, most of it's, hey, look at the flashy colours, jingle jangle, how do you do, fellow kids? But then there's the bits like, hey, you. Yes, you, the little old lady in the audience. I know the world's moved on and left you behind, and the youth these days don't care about you. But don't worry. Jason Statham still cares, and he always will. Also, don't fall for scams.
This message was brought to you by the American Society for Stopping Scams with Statham.
We really should have chosen a better acronym for that.
Yes, well, we're stuck with it now.
So after a few more bee references,
I need to take care of the hive.
You've been up all night.
Hive is more important.
Adam heads off to retrieve a hidden phone linking back to his past life.
What are you doing? Thought you retired.
Turns out Adam used to work as part of this super elite government organisation called, you guessed it, the Beekeepers. I'd say we'll find out more about them as we go on, but not really. We get the odd line or two scattered throughout actually giving some insight, but for the most part it's just they are very strong and dangerous and Adam is very cool. Must be saving all the good stuff for the Beekeeper Origins movie.
I need a favor, a name, an address. Even the FBI can't find these people.
Well, we're not the FBI, are we? Show me the deets and stand by.
So next scene, literally 2 seconds later, and she's calling back to say she found them, because that's just how good the Beekeepers are.
You weren't kidding. This one kicked my butt. They're routing all over the world.
But you found them.
Sure. But who are these people?
I'm gonna find out.
And Adam immediately hangs up without actually being told where they are, because that's just how good. And now he's here at their top secret, completely not conspicuous at all, office space, which they apparently share with several other businesses. So he walks straight up to the security guards, preaches at them a bit.
Scamming the weakest in our society, stealing everything they have. Do you know that's who you work for?
And then when that doesn't work, he beats them up, and that does work. He walks straight up to the reception desk and is like, hey, I'm about to burn this entire building down. Can you evacuate everyone except for the guys who work for this one business? I kinda want them all to die in the fire, cheers. And yep, she does it, no questions asked.
Tell any of the companies in the building to evacuate now. There's gonna be a fire.
Okay, thanks.
Like, she is very complicit in this arson attempt. It's not like she was pressured into it, he just asked nicely then walked off, and she was like, yeah, actually, f those guys, So Adam gets to their completely unwarned office, which is apparently now completed with some weird fractal arc reactor light show, because John Wick had the cool neon stuff, so do we. And now he starts preaching to these guys.
Repeat after me. I will never steal from the weak, the vulnerable again.
Now obviously again that doesn't work, so he beats the shit out of one of them, and then it does work.
I'll never steal from the weak and vulnerable again.
To help you keep that promise. Now I'm gonna burn this place to the ground. Might be a good time to go home.
What the fuck you think you're doing?
I'm a beekeeper. To protect the hive. Sometimes I use fire to smoke out hornets.
Enter not Josh to be like, hey, stop it. No fair. This is why I used to scam loads of people.
This is a multi-million-dollar operation, asshole. Okay, so you can't come up here white knighting shit.
So Adam beats up these security guys, sets the place to boom the next time someone calls their scam number, and drives off just in time to look awesome.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Would have been really awkward if someone called like a minute earlier.
I'm Jason Statham. I've rigged this entire place to blow the next time someone calls this phone, so you might want to think about getting out. See ya. Shit. Oh, bollocks.
Cut to Danforth Enterprises, headquarters of the main villain of the film, the guy who owns the entire network of scam call centers, and played by the actual Josh Hutcherson, Derek Danforth. And to make sure you know what an obnoxious asshole millennial he is, his very first moments on screen are him in the office, on his skateboard, ordering an oatmeal coffee, wanting a massage, and attending some spiritual healing. Kids these days, am I right? Josh Hutcherson is 31 years old. So not Josh calls him up and explains the situation in the most millennial way possible.
It seems we had a disgruntled customer.
Just get in touch with the attorney and start shoving back.
Well, yeah, I don't think that legal's gonna
gonna help much.
Hey, back to my weird brain for a bit. So even now, with these guys having a phone call together, I was still not totally sure that they were not both Josh Hutcherson. I thought, hey, maybe he's playing twins in this movie and it's like a family scam business they're running together. The film's certainly goofy enough to do that. It was kind of weird when he called him Sir, though.
Who did this? Give me a name right now.
Sir, I don't have it. He had a hat.
Oh, he had a hat. Okay. I'm gonna hit you back, right? I gotta go big dog this shit for a minute.
So Derek goes to ask Alfred for help. I mean, obviously it's not actually Alfred, but it pretty much is. His name's Wallace Westwald. Wally West, wrong DC character. And he used to be the director of the CIA until he stepped down to work for Derek and his rich family. As Alfred, but with less butling. But rest assured, he's got nothing to do with Derek's dodgy business. Yet.
I just need a name.
Well, you won't get it from me. And you keep me a million miles away from your metaverse meth lab or whatever it is.
So Derek's like, hey, you help me scam old ladies. Obviously you've got connections you can use to find this guy.
You're gonna log into our cloud and you're gonna look at anyone connected to the last few deals you closed, all right? You get a wrecking crew together and you go Goodfellas on. I mean, come on, you're a connected guy, right?
Cut to a sad drunk Verona and she gets a call from her partner Wiley like, hey, you remember those scammers we could never track down? Well, a building's just burned down and it absolutely belonged to them, just trust me, let's go check it out.
You sober enough to drive?
Yeah.
So they check it out, Adam sits with his bees, and Not Josh rocks up to Eloise's place just in time to spot him driving off.
That's him.
So they start following him right up until they get to some more beehives.
The hell are those?
Fucking beehives.
So what do you think happens now? No, there's no dumb answers, go ahead. What do you think these bad guys, sat in this car, do with these beehives? If you said a drive-by shooting, you're correct! Honestly, I'm disappointed they didn't go all the way with it. Have the bees all rush into the car for some easy karmic justice, have them covered in stings for the rest of the film. So I guess it's down to Adam to avenge them. Now this is obviously meant to have the same impact as John Wick's dog being murdered. Like he already thinks he's avenged Eloise now, he's burned down the building and immediately gone back to beekeeping. So this is the emotional kick up the butt he needs to go topple Derek's entire empire. Except he never finds out about this. He never goes back to the beehives, he never has his special moments kneeling in the rain shouting, no! Which honestly, I wouldn't put past this movie. But nope, I guess he must have a psychic link to these bees, he's just that good a beekeeper. Because by the time Nod, Josh and co catch up to him at his barn, he's ready for them. And now he's in full-on predator mode. Like the movie, not the other type.
Somebody fucking help me! We can talk about this. We can talk about this. Let's just work this out, me and you. We can fix this!
Bloody hell! Anyway, back to the crime scene. Well, the first crime scene now, I guess. And they're trying to get information out of the guys that worked there. Obviously, Verona's mad at them because of her mum, but being a trained FBI agent, she manages to stay completely professional.
You know, this is a really nice shirt, by the way. Did you steal it out of a casket, you dog fucker? I know. I'm an asshole.
And now they're back at Adam's barn again because he's decided to burn that down now too. I'm guessing it was meant as a way to cover his tracks and dispose of the bodies, but then the feds are just like, hey, these burned bodies worked for that other place that just burned down. Do you think the guy whose barn this is did it?
The Beekeeper.
So you know, not the best idea in hindsight. But I guess the plot gotta progress somehow.
Lost my virginity in that barn.
Now I swear, so many scenes in this film are ones where clearly the only thought going into it was how can we make this look really cool? Which is fair enough, who doesn't like cool stuff? Fucking nerds, am I right? But so much of this makes absolutely zero sense if you think about it for literally 1 second. So we cut back to Nod Josh, sat behind the wheel of his truck, now on some bridge somewhere. So obviously Adam decided losing his fingers was enough punishment for this guy, so let him go, and now he's driven all the way to wherever this is. So he calls Derek, interrupting his millennial spiritual shit.
The universe is gonna have to wait. I gotta take this.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Danforth. My fingers, he cut them off.
He? Who the fuck is he? Tell me who he is right now.
I don't know. A fucking beekeeper. Makes honey and fucks beehives.
He fucks beehives. What's he saying about bees?
And then suddenly Adam comes back again and...
Bro, what the fuck is this, man? What the fuck, bro?
I mean, don't get me wrong, hell yeah, f that guy, and that looked f***ing hilarious, but like, that was your own truck, dude. You even gave a sad glance to all your beekeeping stuff before you sent it flying off a bridge. Nobody made you do that. Like, okay, it makes sense not driving a traceable vehicle anymore. Probably not the best idea to start using the car the guy you just killed instead, though. They might keep an eye out for that one, too. So Adam picks up the dropped phone and we're treated to some bee-free wooden dialogue for once.
Who I have the pleasure of speaking with?
It's fuck you, Mr. Fuck You, and you better fucking remember it.
You sound young. I bet you don't have estate planning.
I'm fucking 28 years old. Why would I need that?
I'm about to show you.
Oh, yeah. What's estate planning? Oh, it's like you will and stuff. Because you're gonna kill him. Gotcha. Sick thread, bro.
The only thing you know about him is he says he's a beekeeper.
Yeah, it's like his whole brand or whatever.
For someone who has elevated fucking up into an art form, this might well be your Mona Lisa.
So back to Alfred to get started with the beekeeper lore, backstory, exposition, whatever. Or so you'd think, but no, they're really gonna make you wait for that. So again, it's just, Adam is very cool and good at murdering.
If a beekeeper says you're gonna die, you're gonna die. There's nothing I can do or anybody else to stop it.
Cut to the FBI office, not much here, just the usual, oh, he's so mysterious, he's a ghost. There's no record of him anywhere.
I ran his prints through every database I can think of. No hits. Either he's never been printed or Adam Clay doesn't exist.
So they get called away to find not Josh's corpse, and now we're back to Alfred taking a call from Derek's mummy like, please don't let him hurt my little boy. I'll pay you even more money.
I'll give you a board seat on the holding company. That's another $1 million a year. Plus you promised you'd take care of him.
Also, they imply they used to be a couple, not sure why. It literally never comes up again, and they speak one more time in the entire film.
I still think of you. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
So, Mrs. Danforth, the bad guy's mum. Who do you think she is? Again, no such thing as a dumb answer. I'm not going to reveal it till we get there, but if you're thinking to yourself, no, surely they wouldn't do that, then yeah, they did that.
Why are you calling me on the never call this line?
This is priority one, Janet.
So Alfred's like, okay, another $1 million a year, I guess I'll pull my finger out now. So he reaches out to the current director of the CIA to try and get their help with the beekeeper problem.
My young friend seems to have caught the unwanted attentions of a beekeeper.
Wait, a beekeeper? You busy making funeral arrangements?
I need help, Janet, not jokes.
Skip forward in time and she calls him back like, hey, so nothing to worry about. Turns out he's a retired beekeeper, and so now the current active beekeeper's on her way to go take him out. Problem solved.
The current active beekeeper is aware of the issue and is going to be taking things from here. You can rest easy, old friend.
And they really big up how fucked up and dangerous this new beekeeper is.
Oh no, Janet. The current active beekeeper is a fucking lunatic who should have been removed months ago. God help us now.
Good to know Adam's old contact has zero loyalty towards him. So obviously this new beekeeper is going to be the main enemy in this film, the one he's going to be fighting against for the rest of the film on his path to killing Derek. Both being beekeepers, they're going to be pretty evenly matched skill-wise, except she'll have the upper hand with youth on her side. We're about halfway through this movie now, so she's probably going to beat him in this next fight, leave him for dead, only for him to build himself back up just in time to take everyone out in the grand finale. So yeah, she rams him in a big neon truck, shoots some cops, gets thrown about a bunch, starts shooting a big laser turret, gets bonked with a jar of honey, and then burns to death. And yes, that entire fight scene took exactly 1.5 minutes. They first introduce her here, and 2 minutes 20 seconds later, she's dead.
I need your keys.
Okay, well that guy's definitely dead. But who cares, because
cool guys don't look at explosions.
There's an issue. Problem has not been solved.
So yeah, after that shit show, the beekeepers are like, okay, you know what? Yeah, we're staying out of this. Good luck, lol, bye.
How can I do that? He was their man, for fuck's sake.
And that's the last we hear of them the entire movie. And now we're with the FBI guys again, who've just arrived to investigate the gas station, because that's pretty much the entire structure of this film. Adam does some violence and burns something down, they go check it out and crack some jokes, rinse and repeat. This time though, they start piecing together the larger Beekeeper lore, thanks to a perfectly unburned book they find in a truck that was on fire. Famously very fire-resistant things books.
Beekeeping for beekeepers. Do you know it's that way?
Springfield.
Okay, I was not expecting that sort of crossover, but I'm all for it.
I'm Jason Statham. Just today, I've killed 8 people, chopped 5 fingers off, and burned 3 buildings down. You got something to say to me?
Back to Alfred, and now he's suddenly amassed his own private militia, made of the best of the best.
Former SEAL Team 6, Delta Group.
And we finally get our small bit of Beekeeper lore spoon-fed to us, so at this point we've pretty much worked it out for ourselves anyway.
No bees, no agriculture, no civilization. Beekeepers are given all resources, empowered to act on their own judgment. For decades they have quietly worked to keep the hive safe.
But this scene's basically Alfred telling them, yeah, this guy is a fucking animal. He is almost definitely going to kill all of you, but if we throw enough bodies at him, maybe we'll get lucky.
He's not like you. You're Tier 1 operators. You are, in other words, pussies. With enough of you, then maybe you just might, in fact, be able to kill him.
Dude, bees are interesting little shits. Did you know that? Some bees are queen slayers, which will rise up and kill their queen if she fails to produce the right kind of male offspring.
Fascinating.
So the FBI guys get a call telling them that the deputy director of the FBI is on his way to talk to them. And then we're back with Adam arriving at an old beekeeper hideout and using the finger he took to get in. Good thing they didn't take her off the system the second they learned she was dead and missing a finger. So he does some miscellaneous tech stuff to work out where his next target is, loots a whole bunch of weapons and equipment, then sets off again.
Here's another interesting factoid.
Thank fuck. You know, I was getting sick of enjoying my peaceful thoughts.
So the deputy director's arrived now. Honestly, I've got no idea what the time span of this film is. We cut out what must be so many hours of waiting and travelling with no indication whatsoever. Then they're like, oh yeah, that all happened yesterday.
He killed 6 people today.
So Verona gives him all the rundown. He's shady as hell about the beekeepers.
We believe that Mr. Clay is connected to a classified program named Beekeeper. A program that none of our partner agencies seem willing to acknowledge.
Let's stick to what we know, Special Agent Parker.
And she explains that Adam's probably going to this place because it's the head of all the regional scam call centres. No idea how she knows that, since remember they couldn't find out anything for themselves until Adam started dropping burning clues in their laps, but whatever, she knows now.
I have enough to brief the director. What's your ask?
Well, a SWAT team, for starters. Surveillance support, additional agents, analysts.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Well, that was easy.
Did that just happen?
Yeah.
All right, everybody, listen up. I'm getting ready for my dick to get hard.
So now we're inside another neon gaming dungeon call centre, obviously the one Adam's on his way to attack. Now they must have thought the call centre we saw earlier wasn't quite obnoxious enough, so this one's run by the most stereotypical Bostonian jackass you've ever seen.
200K, I'm gonna suck your dick. I love you. Now, you're a fucking loser. You give me a fucking headache, you give me fucking cancer.
So the cops roll up to the building to protect them, evacuate them, arrest them, God knows, only to walk in the front door and immediately be told to go away because Alfred's militia got it covered.
You're not welcome here. Get the fuck out. Set up the perimeter outside.
So head militia guy starts trying and failing to get them to evacuate.
I want to say this one last time. Shut it down. The fuck I am.
While the cops, I guess, try to work out how to protect the building from the outside.
About the parking garage. Closed and locked. Delivery dock. Same deal. Station agent there too.
And then in a very bold move, Adam walks straight up to them like, hey, it's me, Adam and Clay, the guy who did all those murders and arsons. So I'm just going to go in here and maybe do some more murdering if that's cool with you.
Sure there's no back entrances in this place?
Hey, there are no other entrances. The other option, instead of going in, is to smoke them out. I figured I'd give the firefighters a break. I put them through enough already.
What do you say your name was?
Currently I go by Adam Clay. Trust me. If there was a back entrance, I would have used it.
And when that doesn't work, he beats them all up and walks in the building. He's sensing a theme here. Back upstairs again, militia guy's like, okay, phone your boss, he'll tell you to evacuate. So he phones Derek, who's like, yo, what the hell, absolutely do not evacuate, just have the militia protect the place.
That place is the crown jewel of my kingdom. I'm not gonna let some crash test dummy with a fucking gun fuck it up. Is that clear, Mr. Pettis?
Didn't this character already burn one of your centers to the ground?
Well, you know, they didn't have you. And that's why. So maybe you just do your fucking job and don't tell me how to do mine, please.
So the militia guys leave the office. Asshole guy is just the absolute worst to a guy who was just trying to stop him from being murdered.
Bye-bye, Admiral. Go join fucking Space Force.
But it turns out Adam is already in there. So he throws a guy, takes a hostage, thinks and throws that guy too, and the entire militia starts blasting the ever-loving Christ out of the place while Adam runs straight through it without getting hit once. Because that's just how. So now the militia skulk in the corridors and Adam's back in Predator mode, executing anyone he comes across. He sets off the fire alarm, which naturally turns all the lights off because that's really what you want when trying to escape a burning building. Guess it's a good thing he decided not to burn this one down. But now we've got fancy mood lighting for his big showdown with the militia boss guy and his men. So 40 seconds later, they're all dead and he walks off again.
Our guy, what do we know?
He's in the building. I'm waiting more men to roll in. I don't know what this guy is, but nobody can do what he's done.
Oh my god. It all makes sense now.
No one can do what he does.
Beekeeper? Blackbird. Blackbird was a beekeeper. I can't believe I never saw it before. I really gotta stop referencing my other videos. Really alienates new viewers. Whatever. So anyway, Verona's like, F it, I can take him, and rushes in.
It's just a beekeeper.
Bruh.
I'm not waiting. Come on, Wiley, keep up.
Meanwhile, Adam's just finished setting traps for the next bunch of militia, who think it's a genius idea to stand in an elevator shaft underneath an elevator. These are the guys who took down Bin Laden, yeah? So they're all either crushed by the elevator or dragged into the bottom of the shaft, just in time to explode right in front of Verona and co.
We should take the stairs.
Smart.
Adam Assassin's Creed's his way back to the main office, where everyone's now cowering in fear instead of having used the time to escape. And he starts brutally interrogating the asshole guy. Now anyone with a nervous disposition or light stomach, look away now, because what he's about to do makes chopping Not Josh's fingers off look like child's play. Okay, you've been warned.
You're making a lot of money here. Tell me where it's all going.
I don't know that. Ow! Ah! Ah! Ah!
I know you're the middleman.
Ah! Ah!
Stop.
Ah! Ah!
You can make it stop. Mom dedicated her whole life to helping people. Yesterday, she shot herself.
Okay, how is this still the same day? Okay, getting off topic, but I gotta work this out. Day 1 evening, Adam finds her body, they arrest him and fully exonerate him while Verona investigates and finds the scam stuff. Day 2 morning, she sets him off on his mission, Contact locates the building, he drives away, burns the building down, comes back, does some beekeeping, Verona's drunk, Not Josh and co find him, burns the shed down, throws Not Josh off a bridge, and they find Not Josh. Day 2 night, new beekeeper sent after him, new beekeeper dies, blows up the gas station and kills that guy and I guess anyone else in the gas station. Day 3 morning, they arrive at the gas station, Alfred hires the militia, Adam goes to the hideout, deputy director flies to Boston, and now Adam's in the building. So at the very least, that was 2 days ago. And honestly, I'd like to say more. It's hard to differentiate between morning and evening in this thing, and the weather seems to be changing constantly. I know it's nitpicky, but come on, this is basic shit. Did they not even have a script supervisor on this?
Tell me who and where.
I can't. Look, these people, they're untouchable. No, please! Stop! I will! I told you they were untouchable.
Nobody's untouchable.
Okay, here we go with the intrigue. Ooh, who is Derek to make him so untouchable? And more importantly, who's his mum? We're almost there. Do you think you guessed right?
Sometimes when the hive is out of balance, you have to replace the queen.
Yep, harkening back to the beekeeping book from earlier, Adam has indeed decided he has to kill Derek's mum. Can't have this post-menopausal woman making any more evil children now, can we? So we get some of the cliche stuff we get in literally every vigilante thing. I do what the police can't, etc.
That man is directly responsible for your mother's death.
I believe you. But we have laws for these things.
You have laws for these things until they fail. Then you have me.
Before Adam runs away again, disarms Wiley, tells him that apparently in this 1 day long period he also managed to profile him for some reason.
Oh, I have 4 kids.
I know. 3 boys and a girl.
Before he slowly strolls off, fast enough to escape Verona and co.
You get him?
Did you?
No, he's tricking. I guess that's just evidence. Can I borrow your gun?
So I guess Adam manages to slip out of the building again, despite that whole scene describing how few exits there were and how they were all guarded.
Hey, there are no other entrances.
And now Verona and co are once again investigating the aftermath of Hurricane Adam, and then she stumbles upon a very important clue.
Wiley.
shit.
Finally back to Derek and Alfred having dinner with some random nameless woman who's the most stereotypical shallow rich person ever.
Do you actually prefer the money or the power?
Ooh, that's deep.
Until they're saved by a phone call.
You said these guys were the fucking best. Why are they all dead?
You kicked the beehive, and now we have to reap the whirlwind.
Who's making this call if everyone's dead? No idea, moving on. So Alfred's like, hey, hang on, your mum's this super important mystery woman we still haven't revealed yet. Let's just go hang out with her. He won't dare go near her.
He can't make his move on us if we're in her proximity.
You're a fuck. You're scared. And you want to use my mother as a human shield.
And here we go, guys. Time for the big reveal. Time to have your minds utterly blown.
Yes, Derek, what do you want?
Hey, Mom. I was hoping maybe see you this weekend.
I'm at the beach house. You're welcome to join if you behave. Give Kelly the details. Love you. Have to go. Derek's joining me this weekend. Help me keep him sober.
Yes, ma'am. Love babysitting. Madam President?
She's the f***ing president. Adam Clay's friend got scammed and now he's going to assassinate the president of the United States of America. Back to the FBI office now on a call with the deputy director again, giving us, him, all the new exposition he needs. So Danforth Enterprises is unsurprisingly this huge tech company with Mrs. Danforth as the head. Or at least she was until she stepped down so she could become the president. As you do. So Derek became the new head of the company. Turns out the FBI themselves used some of the company's software to identify financial fraud. However, Derek at some point messed with that software, so now he can use it to identify rich potential victims for his scams. Bada bing, bada boom, multi-million-dollar scam operation with hundreds of employees and branches all over the place. Love how easy it is to be rich. Wonder why more people don't do it.
She self-financed her campaign.
Yeah, none of that money was clean.
And Verona uses a newfound beekeeping knowledge to deduce, oh my god, he's gonna try and kill the president.
In a beehive, there is something called a queen slayer.
I thought we were sticking to the known knowns.
Right, yes, not that beekeepers exist, but our concern is that Clay believes that Derek Danforth is the defective offspring of a queen. Thereby, Clay will strike at the heart of the problem and become a queen slayer.
And no, not a single one of them points out how ridiculous a notion this is when applied to literally anything but bees. It's a totally rational move to kill the president because she pumped out an asshole 30 years ago.
Adam Clay's next victim is Derek Danforth's mother.
President Danforth, sir.
You have a blank check. Good luck.
Thank you.
So next morning, and these now very sleep-deprived agents rock up at the president's beach house.
Federal Bureau of something or another, we're good. You have invites, we're hit.
All right, you'll need to excuse my partner. He's recently concussed and hasn't slept in 2 days.
Inside, Derek continues to be a little shit.
You're looking at me. Mm-hmm. How was any of this my fault?
And we're introduced to Alfred's latest hired militia.
It's absolutely fucking terrifying. Fuck, bro! How'd you piss this out off, huh?
That's right, I guess it got through literally everyone America had to offer, so now they've shipped this guy over from South Africa.
You know, I killed one once.
Oh, you see?
Yeah, only because I was lucky and unfucking lucky.
So finally, 80 minutes into this film, and we have someone who might actually pose a challenge.
My team will be out shortly. If anyone can knock this guy's dick in the dirt, it's them.
I really respect his acting choice here. He knows what the assignment is, because he plays the entire role like he is up to his tits on cocaine.
Yeah, don't piss your pants, bro.
Anyway, I have no idea what this guy is called, and I'm not calling him South African guy the entire time, so I'm just going to call him Safa, which according to Google is commonly used and not derogatory, and I really hope that's true. So if you hadn't guessed, we're now at the grand finale, and I shit you not, it plays pretty much exactly like a level of Hitman. Because they had the genius idea of hiding out at a house on the beach, Adam just comes via the sea, and of course there's literally zero guards anywhere around here, because why guard anything but the main road leading up to the house? So he stashes his equipment in the nearest unguarded drain pipe, and follows it all the way to directly beneath the convoy of the entrance, so he can steal a Secret Service disguise. If your disbelief somehow isn't suspended yet, then now's a pretty good time. Yes, he got fully changed into that other guy's body armor while under a truck on a skateboard. Because so while Adam's infiltrating the party, Derek's busy snorting coke and flirting with his mum.
You look fucking great, by the way. I mean, power just looks so good on you.
God, you're a good-looking kid. You really are. You know that?
In rock up the rest of the militia, and they're all just as stereotypically crazy as their boss. Also, there's a cowboy. Adam rigs one of the trucks to blow, then since Alfred's banned Secret Service guys from the main house,
tell them they can stay in the kitchen.
He disguises himself as Jason Statham, an uncanny likeness. 7-second Fushigi commercial, Adam's in the party, and now the deputy director's having the talk with the president.
Oh shit.
Danforth looks like she wants to throw up. What have we done?
Turns out she didn't know a thing about any of Derek's dodgy dealings or how dirty her campaign money was.
The deputy director has flagged his concerns about the source of my campaign funds.
You know, maybe Adam shouldn't be trying to kill this woman. So deputy director starts questioning Derek about his businesses, and he's like, you know what, that is so weird. I'm barely connected to any of that.
Are you familiar with United Data Group?
United Data Group. Yeah, I invested in that. I invest everywhere. It's everywhere. It's very diverse.
How about 9-Star United?
Yeah, that's more of like a consulting type role. There's the blockchain issues, and you probably don't bore you with all of that.
Back with Adam, and he spots Verona, and he's like, hey Verona, it's me, Adam Clay, I'm here to kill the president. I know I just went to all that effort to sneak in, but why don't you put the whole place on lockdown now?
He's here. All stations, targets in the building, East Wing, give me everything you got.
He's in the house.
Black, packages in the house. Level 3, side 4. Blue over blue. You see him? You fucking get him!
So they pull the old fake Jason Statham trick, which takes up like 5 whole seconds before they immediately spot him out the window slowly wandering along the lawn. So they all pounce on him, and Safa wants to do the unconventional bad guy move of executing him immediately. No fancy tricks, no big speech, just
I'm putting this asshole's brains on the lawn.
What are you doing? He's not even armed.
Armed. As long as this motherfucker's breathing, he's armed.
You're not fucking executing him.
And it's all going pretty well for him. Until he decides to make a bee pun.
To be or not to be? Isn't that the bloody question? I think I'll take to be.
Okay, well I guess he's given up being non-lethal towards the cops now. So he shoots Safa in the cheek and in typical Beekeeper style runs away, takes the human shield, throws the human shield and punches his way back into the building.
You understand, you did this, right? You broke the rules. You corrupted an imperfect but functioning system.
I was just trying to get you into office, Mom.
Back with the Danforths, and they're arguing about what a naughty boy Derek's been, while he accidentally kind of confesses to everything.
You realize that you were behind in 15 of 20 counties you needed to win. I taught CIA software to hunt money and not terrorists.
You didn't hear that. Mom, the wolves are at the fucking door right now. What are you gonna do to fix this?
Mommy, what are you gonna do about the mean man who's coming to kill me? This is all your fault somehow.
That guy who's coming to kill us, that beekeeper, I'm telling him the truth about what you did, Derek. Then I'm telling the entire nation.
You're gonna tell this guy the fucking truth and hope that he spares you and kills me instead?
No, Derek, I'll tell him the truth because it's the truth.
A couple more minutes of Adam fighting his way up the stairs and throwing everyone else down the stairs until he finally finds himself in the beach house's Hall of Mirrors. You know, what house doesn't have one of those? And now it's time for the big final fight against Safa that the whole film's been building up to for the 17 minutes since he was introduced. So it's by far the best matched fight this entire film. For once it's Adam getting thrown about a bunch, they both get slashed and stabbed a bunch, but of course it's Adam who's victorious after stealing both Safa's own knife and brass knuckles.
Thank you.
But now he's confronted by his strongest opponent, Alfred, politely asking him to stop.
It's gone far enough, you proved your point.
So we get a full minute of Alfred attempting to be philosophical and Adam countering with his trademark wooden morality.
Do you live in the real world, or just protect it? What does it matter to you how presidents come to be elected?
Doesn't.
Well, what does matter to you?
Right and wrong. I believe there's good in the universe.
Yeah, well, we agree. I mean, that's my view.
Till the Danforth family bought you.
Before Adam breaks his fingers, Derek shoots the deputy director, Adam blasts into the room, Derek takes his mum as a human shield, and then immediately goes to execute her for some reason.
Bye, Mom.
Adam jumps out the window, and of course Verona lets him go, because if you didn't see her entire character arc coming from her very first scene, then I don't think you've ever seen a movie before.
No! You need to come with me. Come on. Move out. Yeah. Come on.
Goodbye, Adam Clay.
He goes to collect his gear, briefly remembers he was stabbed 2 minutes ago, then walks into the sea to get a bunch of salt water in his wound. Roll credits. And there we go, that's the film. So, what did you think of the twist? Jason Statham beat all the bad guys and walked off into the distance? Definitely didn't see that one coming. Anyway, first things first, back to that rating. What was it, 5 out of 10? Yep, scratch that, let's change that to 3 out of 10. At a push, just because 2 out of 10 seems excessive. So yeah, 3 out of 10 absolutely would still recommend. But yeah, do you see what I mean? Like, this is not a good movie. It's the most cookie cutter copy and paste storyline you've ever seen, atrocious dialogue and pacing in places, a litany of plot holes, and just so many really bizarre choices. But I did really enjoy it. I still have no idea how much of it was deliberately goofy and how much of it was accidental. If I had to hazard a guess, having literally no experience in or knowledge about the film industry, I'd say the writer guy wrote it completely straight, just as your average Jason Statham action movie, then David Ayer read the script, thought, man, this is shite, so tried to salvage it with this sort of Suicide Squad wackiness. Or maybe this was the aim all along and I'm just being a humbug. Who knows? At the moment, it's rated 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, 92% audience score, 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb, so I'm guessing everyone's in the same boat as me, letting their hearts guide them instead of their heads. I haven't respected Rotten Tomatoes for such a long time, but it's still hilarious seeing this get rated higher than so many other films that are so much better. I guess at the end of the day, as much as some people like to protest, we don't care how traditionally good a film is, we just want to watch something fun where the bad guys get what they deserve. And that's okay. Okay, I was going to end the video here, but just after scripting all of that, I realised why I've been so critical here, and I couldn't find anywhere else to slot it into the script, so I'm just leaving it here. It's because, like I mentioned earlier, I saw this in the cinema. Films like CIA are clearly made for TV, straight to DVD, streaming, whatever, so it's not fair to compare them to real films. And despite this absolutely being a made for TV film, hell, in the UK the first thing you see is a massive Sky TV logo since it's a Sky original, I would have been charged full admission to see this if I didn't already have a year cinema subscription. So yeah, if it wants to act like a big boy film, I'm gonna treat it like one. No regrets. No begrets. If you got this far, then thank you so much for sticking around. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you'd like to support the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, spread the video around. Anything like that really helps. And I will be you next time. Bye bye.
No, there wasn't a bee pun. I will literally be you. Enjoy your final days being yourself. Goodbye. Goodbye.